I'm your host, Chris Barbee. On this edition of 10 or 10, we welcome Clay Pelon, Associate Director in the College of Education's Center for Educational Partnerships. Clay has worked for the College of Ed for 20 years. Currently, he works extensively on Groundswell, an environmental place-based education program serving West Michigan. He also pioneered a partnership between PBS, WGVU, and the college that is creating early childhood professional development available nationwide. Clay, it's great to have you on today.
Great to be here. We've worked together so long, and it's always awesome to work with the Alumni Association and you in particular, because you are great. So,
well, you say that now, but I've got you in the hot seat, so we'll see how you feel 10 questions later, okay?
I'm okay.
All right. Well, let's get started with question number one. What puts a smile on your face at work?
Probably people, right? So, that is one of the things that, when I first started Grand Valley, I never thought I'd be here 20 years, right? It was like, I'll be here for a couple years and I'll go on with my career and blah, 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 right? But it's just the amazing people that I get to work with every day, and they kind of inspire me. And I've found I just love it here, and I've never really wanted to go anywhere else. Because Grand Valley has let me grow with the institution, and it's the people.
Well, you must have started at age 10 too, if you've been here 20 years. Jeez.
This is my second job out of college. The first was an interim admissions counselor at University of Michigan Flint.
Okay.
And the person that I was there for interim was out with a medical leave, was not expected to come back, had a miraculous recovery. and so that it was, I applied all over the country. There was a position up with kids out in Colorado, Boulder, Colorado. With my marching band background, the music background, and then like administration stuff. But then the job at Grand Valley came up, and I took the Grand Valley job, and I've been very happy ever since.
Well, we're better for it. Question number two: who was your musical influence growing up?
Oh, I guess mainly Sousa. Because I am such a nerd, right? Yeah, so so I
didn't remember him on the top 40 list.
Well, I like all types of music. That was like my passion, as far as so I have like a broad range. So people always ask like, what's my favorite genre? And it's like, I know I just don't like a couple different genres. That's about it. So, but being in band, from early on, had a big influence. I just I guess I like being in band, and that's one of the, I guess it's a strange answer, but there you go.
I'm going to call you JP from now on. So. Could you name your hometown and your favorite local hangout?
Sure. Lowell, Michigan. So just east of Grand Rapids. Normally, anybody outside of Michigan, I just say Grand Rapids because, well, Lowell has changed so much. It's like a little trendy area now, which is just mind-boggling. but there's a couple new breweries in town. So when we are not in COVID land, I'll go to the couple different actual breweries there. So that's those are the couple there that I go to. So,
okay. Who was your favorite high school teacher, and what was the subject?
Yeah, Mr. Camp Schulte, without a doubt. He was a government teacher. This guy, I think he played football somewhere, and he was intense about government. But it was great. He'd get really jazzed up, excited, and he could do a vertical jump. He'd jump on the front row table to make a point. Yeah,
That's scary.
But he was awesome. So we had this thing, was like a mock Congress thing we had to do, and we were randomly assigned states, parties, and then a pork barrel project we had to get passed. And I was the only student to get my pork barrel project for Pennsylvania passed.
I hope it was roads or something. So
it was a road, in fact. It wasn't quite a bridge to nowhere, but close.
What was your best road trip as a member of the MSU marching band?
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess there's two answers to that. The best trip I ever had was to the Aloha Bowl. We flew out with the board of trustees, the coaches, and everything, and we got like 10 days in Hawaii, like paid for by the university. And we just did some gigs and stuff, but then we would pool our money and rent cars and go places. And so it was an amazing trip. But the road trip, it was probably to the Sun Bowl. So we road tripped all the way from East Lansing down to El Paso, Texas. So that's not an insignificant amount of time stuck in a bus. And things got a little wacky along the way. But I think we watched Blues Brothers at least 5 times. And
because this is a family show, we won't go into those stories, okay?
That's right. Especially when we actually got to El Paso and then particular Tijuana. So
what was your first car?
It was a Pontiac S5000 STE that had like this, it lost its paint job. So it had like this purple matte, like, spray job. So that was, but that was my favorite, like old car I had was a 1979 Cadillac 2-door Seville. And the thing was about 20 feet long, and you open the doors and like half the car would open up with the door, but man, that thing was smooth. You just kind of float along.
Oh, if you've got any pictures of those, I need to see it. Okay.
Mint green.
Wow. You were really bringing it with the car selection.
Yes.
What is your favorite movie of all time?
Well, I love comedies.
Okay.
So probably, and Mel Brooks in particular. So Blazing Saddles or History of the World Part 1, probably like those are like, and Blues Brothers. Those are like my top 3. So, and then also some of the Monty Python like stuff is pretty good. So I'm kind of really typecasting myself here, but
It's telling us who you are.
Yeah.
Jelly beans or gummy bears?
Gummy bears.
All right, no hesitation there.
No.
Who do you thank at the Grammys for your musical talent?
Oh, I'm going to go back to our middle school band instructor, Jack Meisner. And you might actually know that name because he plays trumpet at the Fifth Third Ballpark.
Oh.
Yeah, so he does a lot of stuff in the area still, but he was the guy was like outlandish, I'd say, as a music instructor, but it was great. Like, I guess it kept being exciting. He would get like really red when we'd mess up and stuff. And I was a trombone player at that point, and so I was always up to shenanigans. Not as bad as the drum line, but
Well, it sounds like you had some very influential teachers growing up. So,
yeah.
Last question. Since you partner with WGVU and PBS, got to end with your favorite number and favorite letter.
Let's see. Okay, I'm totally blanking. What was the question?
What is your favorite number and favorite letter?
Oh, I get it. Yes. So my favorite number is 4, and the letter I would say P because that's my last name. So, but yes.
What's the significance of 4?
I don't know. For some reason, like that's always just been the number that works for me, right? So if I do, like someone say pick a number, I always pick 4. Like.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, those are, I got to know a little bit more about you, Clay, and appreciate you taking the time, and always great hanging out with you. As you said, we go back a long ways, back to 2002, I believe.
Yeah.
When I first started working with the College of Ed Alumni Association, and always appreciate your help and everything that you do. And I can honestly say that every time I see you, you got a smile on your face. You bring that great laugh of yours, and I always walk away with a smile on my face when I'm dealing with you. So thank you.
Well, thank you. It's been a pleasure.
All right. Have a good rest of the week.
You too.